night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
That's only supposed to play once. How y'all doing tonight? As you can see, I'm joined with my friend Cece here. She just decided to jump up on my lap. She, I don't know. She does that sometimes. Anyway, welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. How is everyone this evening? It's good to see. What do we got? 29. It's showing right now. That's good. We get a few people in here. We got some fun shit to talk about here. The recent 360 degree camera that they put up with a satellite to they said it's a sad day for flat earthers. That's what it says in the article. We're going to go over that and show some of the video that was released from said satellite of this 360K camera. Anyway, let's see who all we got in here. Of course, we've also got the link up on the panel for anyone that wants to come in. Let's see who I got right now. Blank Slate 1111. Awesome. That's a good name, man. Greg B. Justin Johnson is with us. Martine MCAX is with us. Good to see you, my friend. No longer on the ball. RPB 67. Saddle Bomb is with us. Twilight Nights. And Jehovah's Daughter Barbara is with us. Let's see who else. Somebody just joined. Charles B., I think. Greg Braden's with us again tonight. Oh, he's right back here behind us and behind the backstage. I didn't hear the familiar little pop that comes along. Let's welcome. That's not the one we want. Definitely feeling like a Friday night tonight. I'll tell you what.
Nice to see you. I really just wanted to apologize for me showing up drunk the other night.
Oh, it's all right, man. It's
no,
all right.
I feel like I detracted from the show, and I'm sorry. I don't do that, and so that was a very rare glimpse.
You had mentioned that you had a lot on your mind and shit and stuff going on, so I kind of understand what was going, what you was coming from. But yeah, it's no good. No bueno, yeah. Man. In any circumstance, it's never going to help you. It's never going to help anything. It's going to make it worse, if anything. Because that's what it's designed to do. It's a low resonating substance. It takes us down to a low vibrational level, and it allows the influence of dark entities.
Yeah.
It's all about what you tune your radio to. That's the music you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
So tune your radio to the happy music.
Keep it legit.
Yeah, man. That's what we got to do.
I just wanted to say I'm sorry, and I'm gonna jump back out.
All right. Well, you don't have to jump back out. We're going to be going over some pretty cool stuff, but if you want to, and then if you want to pop back in, whatever, that's how we do here.
Thanks,
So,
man.
all right, Greg.
All right, bye.
All right, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let me see who else I got popped in here with us. Peter W's with us. No longer on the ball has shown up. Did I say Justin Johnson before? That's hard. These days are running together for me. Here it is. When the moon hits your eye like it's 4:45, that's December.
And a big pizza pie.
Right? It's
That's December.
feel like it's been nighttime for a long time now, and it really hasn't. It's only 9:40 in the evening on the East Coast, and try edibles. Are you kidding me? I've survived for periods of time on edibles, man. But yeah, there's just been some really cool stuff I've been finding here recently. As we said before, there was the 360 view, which I used for a thumbnail. That came from the video that was sent with the 360K. What the hell you call it? A satellite. Yeah, that's right. I have trouble saying the word anymore. Anyways, who knows who may show up? We may attract our good friend Nick Volt, who will maybe try to explain away this phenomenon of whatever it is we're looking at here when we go. You guys are going to love this. I'm going to wait for a few more people to show up and stuff. And I've got some other kind of crazy cool shit we'll share here on a Friday night. Hopefully we won't be going marathon, but who knows? It usually gets pretty intriguing and we go a long way. Here I am, Illuminati confirmed, 33 viewers. Holy crap. We've only been on the air for 7.5 minutes and I've already Illuminati confirmed. You can't slip one by it. So where was I? Am I in my own thing here or am I not? No, I'm not. So, uno momento, si vous plaît. There we go. Little Spanish French. Little Franish. That's what we'll call that. So we've got another problem just to keep people unaware. Get ready. Buckle up, buttercups, because here we go again. Okay? Here we go again. And here's what we've got. This unknown pneumonia outbreak just in time for election season. Here's the countries that have been hit by this. So far, we've had an instance here in the United States. I think there's been 2 states that have reported it. Switzerland, Netherlands, UK, Denmark, Sweden, China, of course. That's where it started, I guess, again. Taiwan, Vietnam, Indonesia, Singapore. So the ones that are in yellow, I guess it says those are countries that are on alert for it. Singapore and Indonesia, and of course, probably because of their close proximity, and everybody knows that these little things travel about desperately looking for a respiratory system to reproduce themselves in. I think it might just be voodoo, to tell you the truth. Makes just as much sense as what they try to tell us. Another reason to fear these things, man. People are all about these fucking robots. We had the wandering penguin on here last night. I think he was defending the robots, but this won't be good.
Yeehaw. Your weapon, sir. Thank you, steward. Fire in the hole.
I think that's an Elon mobile too.
I'm alive. Awesome. Way to go. We did it, steward.
Now wait till he turns that gun on the guy. See, because Skynet will go online. We already know what's happening. We know the penguins have probably infiltrated the entire network anyways, right, Johnny? Yeah. Fuck the penguins, we're done with those little bastards. They are not cute little flightless birds. They're ruthless overlords, and the quicker you people realize that, the better off you're going to be. I mean, good God. What was this one here about? Oh God, yeah. This was funny too. Okay, we're just waiting for a few people to get in here, and then we'll get into the meat, so to speak. Let me just. This was kind of cute.
To say their final goodbyes to this fallen Louisville police officer, D.D. Mangudu.
Anniversaries in the meantime. Happy 80th birthday to E. Norma Stitz of Quitman. Happy birthday to you, Miss E. Norma. Hope you have a wonderful day.
When my son was teething, he used to like to take the big fat rubber end of my vibrating toothbrush and put it in his mouth on. And he'd just kind of sit there like, oh yeah, that feels good. That hit the spot. My gums are itchy.
11 paying more at the grocer, but getting less. We'll tell you how to get the most. The fuck are you doing? We need to acknowledge an unfortunate mistake that I made.
Names of the 4 pilots who were on board the flight. They are Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Lee Fook, and Bang Ding Ao.
We tried to reach out to the man who died in this pursuit. They were unavailable for comment. Micah, back to you.
So those names, E. Norma Stitz. That's fucked up. That's a good one. Oh my God. So Johnny, you said you had some topics or something you wanted, something you wanted to throw out there? Go for it. Go for it. Come on out here.
We can't see.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. Like say, I've been in a lot of trouble all my life, and I just dealt with probation officers and law enforcement all my life, and just some topics, I know a lot about it, and how crooked a lot of law enforcement all and stuff, and how they pushed themselves around. And anybody wants to get any hits out there, maybe try to hit Dave up or something. I can get on one night and we can all discuss it, or anybody got any topics, or maybe I can learn something off one of you guys out there. So, like I say, if you could hit Dave up or something, I don't have a channel, but I'm interested in trying to get one. So
maybe what you ought to do is start a reaction channel to some of these cop videos.
Yeah,
there's all these cop videos out there. First Amendment, these people's encounters with the police and shit like that.
Right.
Do your own reaction to it, but do it from the other side. We've got all these jackasses out there right now that try to make
filming and stuff.
No. Like where there's a video, but like how I show a video on here, right? Yeah. Okay, so what you do is you pause it, react to what's going on in there, how the cop's out of line or how the guy's out of line. And then, your reaction to it, and you're from the other side of the fence where most of these other people are like holster sniffers and bootlickers.
Comment on that.
Yeah.
And then I'll get feedback on it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I like the Jeopardy contestant that said she hoped for snow on her wedding day, but it don't snow. But she got inches on her honeymoon. Oh, yes, I get it. I see what you did there. Listen, you guys, the things that are going on with America's youth, especially in the inner city, is incredible. I was amazed.
Crazy.
Listen, I was amazed when I ran over this. I can't believe the audacity. I mean, watch this.
They told me a newborn king to see. Oh, our finest gifts we bring to lay before the king. They told me me and my drum, me and my drum.
I don't know. I just thought it was good to be able to, something nice, instead of something terrible. But everybody always expects something terrible, and I thought that was a good example. Everybody was, and I built it up to be. I tricked you. I tricked you with your own thinking. again, further exacerbating it and demonstrating how frail the human mind can be, how manipulatable it is. Haha, with my mind magic. Yeah, man. So anyway, I'm going to stop this screen here. We have, where'd my article go? Oh, criminy. Oh, there it is. Great. Okay. So the first 360-degree camera in space end flat earthers arguments once and for all. Y'all, this is it. So after I show you this article and the subsequent video, I guess I'm just going to have to pack it up. Be all done. That's it. No more Sovereign Soul channel. Well, because they said right here that this first, I'm going to show you. Look, this is it. This is a killer. Yeah, man, it's a killer. Look. Let me zoom that in. Whoops, wait a second. What happened? Why did my screen black out when I tried to share it?
So they don't want you to see. They don't want you to
Yeah, they're upset with me.
Starting to shut you down right now.
Yeah. I might have to fucking hang on a second.
Zapped him.
Looks like it's trying
just
to
like
load.
that, huh, Dave?
There, okay. Now we got it. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted to blow that up so people can read it at home. All right, so as you can see here, it says that it's a bad day to be a flat earther. Can you all read that okay? You want me to just boost it up one more mass a little bit? There we go. So it says here, I'll even highlight it. Over the years, the conspiracy theorists, so God forbid, where's the humanity, have had to deal with a lot of evidence that contradicts their theories on the earth, on the flatness of the earth. Okay, that's kind of loaded. We could go into that, but we don't really need to. But the latest footage from space really does throw a spanner in the works. See for yourself. Okay, so this is already English, using spanner instead of wrench. Anyhow, let's see here. This is going to be, we'll look at this astounding actual video here in just a moment. We'll read the rest of the article. It says 360-degree images captured in space show Earth in all its glory. And it's safe to say it looks pretty round to us. The images come courtesy of the first 360-degree cameras sent to space, and they've captured some images that really show off how spherical the Earth truly is.
Almost looks like it was
man.
shot from the moon, from the space shuttle. When they
right now, there's globies reading this, and they're sitting around in their underwear, masturbating to this article. Probably this is like porn to them. Okay, so it says Chinese tech company Insta360 shared the images that got the whole internet talking. Did you guys? Were you talking about this? You guys? I don't think too many of you were, but. Maybe you were. Let's see. They show a round blue circle that's Earth, and the surrounding darkness of infinite space. Well, that's quite a claim there. The images were captured by two 360-degree cameras. So that's what, 720 degrees, right? Captured by two 360-degree cameras attached to satellites orbiting the Earth. Okay, and then there was Doc and Sneezy and that's a different fairy tale.
720.
That's a different fort.
720 ain't it?
Yeah. So the cameras were sent 310 miles into space.
How many?
310 miles into space on January the 16th, after beginning the project in July of 2021. Media Storm and SAR satellite company Space City collaborated with the tech company to get the cameras as far into space as possible. All right, so this is a picture, a still image, but we're going to look at the video here in just a minute. The cameras had to undergo heavy reinforcing to ensure they could withstand the temperatures and conditions so far from the Earth. But the metals and shit that make up the satellite aren't subject to those temperatures, I guess, somehow, even though some of those temperatures are above the melting point of the metal itself. I mean, see how stupid this shit is. So let's see. What, Larry?
The dick, yeah, not the dick.
Oh yeah, you better say you better use the hard B. Right on. Got it. It's a bic. Careful when you ask for that. I thought she was asking for something else. I don't know where she's at. I'm not in there.
I just want to ask a question.
So let's see. It's so yeah, as low temperatures as low as minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit to as high as 120 degrees, 22 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the location. They also had to be radiation and vibration proof, which was particularly important during takeoff and landing. Okay. So this is this the video? Yeah. Let me see if I can make this big. I guess that's as big as you can make it. We can find it on YouTube though, but this is that's it. That's the flat earth killer right there, man. You gotta be shitting me, right? For real? That's it.
You're hovering.
That's what the big hoodoo. And it was like, no. This is just the dumbest shit that I've seen. Some of the dumbest shit that I've seen in a long time. Let me see. There was I think I found something about this on YouTube too. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see. 360 camera on satellite. Let's see if they got that new. Let's see. This is it, right? You know, that's 8 years ago. Here we go. 2 days ago. It's only 1 minute and 11 seconds. I'm going to stop this screen. I'm going to present this screen right here. And as soon as it's commercial, we get that done. We got that magic gold foil, y'all. We don't need that music. Look at that breathtaking images captured. Look at how breathtaking those images are. So that proves it right there. Are you kidding me? Solar-powered satellite was initially scheduled to launch in 2022, but had to be postponed due to the Holocaust. It's also proven that the Earth is a tunnel. Look at that curvature change every time the fucking angle of that thing goes. Holy God. Did you see that thing warp? Holy sheep shit. Look at the satellite itself. Did you see the satellite itself? Look at that. So those solar power, those solar panels are curved like that and shit. Funny how that curvature is exactly the same and concentric with the Earth too, isn't it? Holy cripe! This is destroying flat Earth. That's it. Yeah, Weiss loses 3 Bitcoin. Somebody send this to him. It's all over from there, man. Send that to David Weiss, somebody please. Because Christ Almighty, that's it. No, that was real. I said, you science denier, Peter. What the fuck, man? You're just a science denier. That's all. You can't accept it. You can't accept that math is reality. I can't even say that with a straight face. I can't believe somebody would actually say that. Math is reality. What? Hurts my head, man. This is the kinds you got right here. These little fucking hateful shits. Here's Nick. This is a video of Nick. Our good friend Nick Volt. Where is Nick Volt tonight? Where is that little bastard at? Let's see.
One of the best ways to drain people's energy nowadays is via the internet.
This woman is a astrophysicist. Actually, this is not how space works. Read a book. Now I just wait for the comments to come in. Hey, can you mansplain any louder? Yeah, sure. These are all different accounts that I have set up. The energy you get this way isn't quite as pure, but if you do enough of it, it'll fill you up. Shanghai sucked. Where was the Chinatown? Jason Mraz is just too weird for me. Jesus actually hates horses. Childhood obesity, LMFO. When they call you a dumbass, you know you've got them. They called me a dumbass. Women are getting too tall. Yeah. You can drain their energy via social media without having to even be near them. That is racist. You're correct. It is. Oh, yeah. 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 Oh, they hate me.
It's surprisingly simple to get total strangers completely furious with you.
They should get a life.
Yeah. So that's kind of how they really are, right? Is it's just a fucking energy drain. So Flat Earth is real fake news says math is reality. No, math is a description. Math, some things in reality can be described with math, but it is not reality within itself. Can you come up with a mathematical? Can you describe how a strawberry tastes using math? Can you mathematically describe how a strawberry tastes or how a rose petal smells? No, you can't. Okay. Math can describe, you can quantify, you can use it as an explanation, but the math within itself is not reality. Now, when we move that around and start using assumptive values in our mathematical equations, then of course our results are going to be assumptive because we're using assumed values. That's just how it works. You know, the only way that 2 plus 2 can actually equal 4 is if you actually have 2 to add to another 2. If you actually have both 2s. But if they're hypothetical, that in the sense of a hypothetical 2 plus 2, hypothetical 2 plus 2 equals hypothetical 4. Okay. If you have 2 and 2, then that would be 4. Okay. You understand how that works? Oh yeah, that's an interesting. Yeah, I've seen that. It's kind of a cool concept, man. But yeah, you got to be real careful if you get too deep into the math shit. You'll end up with these guys that sit around and math debate over fucking algebra equations and shit. It's all geometry, good. You know, I mean, it's like, fuck, these guys are, take a break from shit, Oh no, he forgot to check his YouTube. What's happening, Dr. Law? Dr. Law's here, chilling, has made it. Martine's here. Steve Miller, good to see you, Steve Miller. Flat Earthers, real fake news. Shifty Eyes, Shady. I've had quite a number of more people show up here. I should go over and take a look and see who we all got in this show tonight. Let's see. I'm just going to go right from the top. 76 Mark. Analog synth players joined us. Benny Boys, good to see you. Blank Slate is with us. 1111. Carrie Skates has joined us now. Chilling, Dr. Law, Flat Earthers, real fake news. Let me see here. Anybody I missed? Justin Johnson, I think. Little M39, somewhere in time has joined us as well. And ZXL Master. And everybody else I've already mentioned you, so I'm not going to get all weird, right? So if you ever heard of this psychology test, this was great. Where you can make someone think, where they can taste this. Let me just watch. I'll show you. It's kind of cool.
The salt shaker test is a psychological test where you can trick your brain into tasting salt. So here's a salt shaker. Take it. And then if you tip the salt into your mouth, you can taste it. Yeah. She like to fuck me, suck me, fuck me. I'm not like it. Yeah, but really vigorously shake the salt. Gotcha, bitch. Can you taste it? Can you taste the salt? Oh! What? Can you taste it?
No, not yet.
More vigorous. Oh my god.
Good.
Can you taste it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you taste it?
Yeah.
Can you taste it?
Yeah. Taste it.
Can you taste the salt? The salt shaker test is a psychological test where you can trick your brain into tasting salt. So here's a salt shaker. Take it. And then if you tip the salt into your mouth, you can taste it. Yeah.
Isn't that terrible, man? People falling for it. I mean, I guess it would be easy to do. So on the Caleb Felicia the Flat Earther thing, I'm glad I reminded this. So there's been quite a thing where Caleb has agreed to give him a rematch, but under the conditions that they've set conditions of where it will be where neither him nor Craig make any money on it. And that was the first condition. But now there's a guy, I guess this channel that audits he analyzes debates and puts videos about it. And Caleb said that this guy is going to have one out by Christmas of this last debate. And Caleb said, I will debate you and you can go ahead and make money off of it. But you have to play this guy's live reaction video on your channel and leave it up indefinitely. So I'm kind of anxious to see it. But but since then, of course, Caleb has been getting a lot of smoke. He's been getting a lot of smoke from Globe Trolls. They're like fucking targeted on his ass, right? And he put this tweet out about an hour ago. And let me just share this with you. He said, I have reached the peak of intolerance for these Globe zealots. If I must, I will single-handedly expose each one of these clowns one by one. I have nothing but resentment for anyone that blindly follows the mainstream consensus without deducing reality from fantasy through logic and reason. I will be utterly pitiless. Forewarning for any of my following that is faint of heart. I will be harsh, seemingly cruel to the proponents at the top of fighting flat earth. And you know who he's talking about, man. Simon, McToon, all these guys, right? I will be hard. Let's see. I will be nothing short of ferocious. So if you're looking for someone to be kind to these fools, I'm not your guy, and I will happily see you out the door. I'm building a revolution, not a following of timid, chicken-hearted cowards that are thin-skinned. If you can't handle that, you are not going to want to follow my future work. I'm not the nice guy in this search for truth. I demand respect for our Creator, and I will wield the sword of truth against everyone and anyone that dares to stand against God's true creation again, in the most cutthroat way this community has ever seen. I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. For those who demand the truth come to light and be respected by our opposition, though, I think you will be pleasantly delighted with how I conduct myself against these atheistic simpletons. And I saw that, and just before I came on, and I was like, whoa, he ain't no fucking around no more, man. He's done. And I think that's good. I think that's good. And I understand where he's coming from. Absolutely, man. I mean, you know that since that, he's been getting hit hard. And, you know, at least he's not suffering damage. I can tell you that. But they are coming at him hard. Or at least, you know what I mean by that. They're like targeting. I think he even lost a TikTok channel or some shit too. I mean, pretty bad. So yeah, there's a lot of and so we've been asking for Globies to prove a gas pressure system next to a vacuum now for the longest damn time, and we finally have it. There we are. We have a gas pressure system next to a vacuum. It's the only way you're going to get it, guys. Sorry. That's the only way you're going to get it. Listen, I don't have any. I'm gonna. You know what? You know what we need? That. Yes, it was funny. Okay. Saw this too. This is kind of interesting. We've all seen this. Well, you're gonna know right off the bat, and this is what's really kind of weird. I think you may too. So we're familiar with this image here on the bottom, and this is a coastline. It almost is like identically matches it. Look at this shit. It's apparently some in Arabia or someplace like that. I'm not familiar with the names of these. El Kala National Park. I'm not really sure where these places are at. I guess you could look them up, but I thought that was kind of an interesting picture. What did I just hear? Did somebody message me? Who the fuck is that? Oh, it's. Yeah. Okay. Good to go. Good to go. So where was I at? There we go. Oh, this is the one that gets you too. Let me see if I can show you. This guy. Wow. Let me just show you this tweet. So this is, can I demonstrate a high pressure next to a lower pressure using fluids? Sure thing. Right? He said and without containment, gas pressure without container cannot exist. Look, no boundaries. And I said, what's that glass thing that the pink gas is in? Could that be a, wait for it, container? You think that could be what that is? I mean, what is this? Go back and watch my video. So you please. I gave every definition of what a container is, and still people are lost in the woods. And they believe this kind of fucking space fakery shit that all you see. What do we got? No boundaries. Oh, boundaries. Oh, yeah. In a bag. Yeah, let's see. It's like Dave Weiss says, bring me some propane, but don't bring it in a tank. Yeah, right. Bring me a bucket. Bring me a bucket of propane. You know, there's different containers, methods of containment that are appropriate for different applications. No longer on the balls, kind of. No relation to Nick Volt, huh?
Exactly.
I thought
that was your
boy. I thought Nick was your boy.
Yeah.
No, I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to entertain trolls once in a while. He kind of messed with me a little bit. He was pretty intelligent in detecting that I was using sarcasm with him, which is pretty good for a baller. Usually they don't understand sarcasm. I asked him, why is it that ballers on live streams like to flash their penis, and sadly they're unable to produce 8 inches per mile squared. Maybe it's Einstein's length contraction problem.
Shrinkage. I just got out of the pool, damn it.
Yeah. So he understood that as a joke. So that was pretty good. So he's not so bad.
Listen, Kevin says he's just driving back from Busch Gardens in Virginia. He's all the way over on the other side of the state from me, over on the other side of the Commonwealth, over in the flat part. You need to come on out here to the mountains, Kevin. That's what you need to do. My Jeep, I feel weird kind of because my Jeep is gone. And my friend came over a little while ago. He goes, "Where's your Jeep?" And I said, "Oh, I traded it for some crack. You want to smoke some?" But actually what happened for my birthday, my wife had it arranged to have my Jeep detailed. So we took it in a little while ago and they're working on it. So, hey, that'll be nice. The thing's filthy. It's filthy. My Jeep is filthy. It's been everywhere. and it's been a long time since it's been cleaned. I mean, that thing's got shit, probably dust in it from the desert out in California. Every other damn place I met, up until like last summer, up under the hood, there was still like this stain from where I found this puddle out in Cali, and I drove through it, and it was this really weird mud that it like just stayed on the inside of my hood. It was just like it almost looked like a coffee stain or something like that until I finally got up under there and washed it off. But I'm not I'm not real big on cleaning my vehicles. I'd rather have somebody else do it, So that's kind of a fun thing. We got that going on.
I'm kind of an oddball there. I don't like to wash my vehicle very often. When you have a filthy vehicle, it's less desirable to break into, I figure.
Yeah.
Everybody else has got all these clean cars.
Well, my wife's friend lives in the next town over, and they've had their car broken into. But that's a little bit bigger of a town than where we're at. People around here know pretty well to not fuck with any of my shit. They just know. I mean, it's pretty well known that the crazy old man on Judy Lane is fucking heavily armed.
Nice. That's a good reputation to have, I think.
It is.
It can't hurt. It can't hurt.
It doesn't hurt, not whatsoever. But that's what I told my wife. I said, well, shit. I said, that's what I'd do if they was doing that around in our neighborhood or whatever. I said, I'd fucking bait those sons of bitches. I would. Especially this time of year, I'd use shiny foil wrapping paper, wrap up some boxes and stick them all in the back seat of the car, leave them so you can see them, good and visible. And then just sit there and wait at night for some motherfucker to come up there and try to break into your car. Just the daunting sound of a 12-gauge shotgun pump racking is unmistakable to anyone in the world. Everyone recognizes that sound, and immediately it sends a chill down your spine.
I have got to get me some of those.
What, the 12-gauge?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've got one that's got an extra long tube. So it actually holds extra ammunition. I mean, it's a police model. It's got a door breach muzzle on it where you can put it right up to the hinge of a door and just blow the hinges off a door.
Huh.
It's pretty badass.
It can hold like 13 rounds, I think.
Yeah, 12 plus. It's
12 plus 1. Yeah.
And then you got then my other one's a semi-automatic in a bullpup design. So it's a full-size shotgun, but it's only like half as long as a regular shotgun because it's put together in a bullpup design. Magazine-fed semi-automatic.
Sub has more arms than a millipede. I love it. Yeah, I've got to get there. The way this world's going.
Yeah, I mean, I was starting to question whether it was okay. I sit down here and I have my 357 is sitting, my little SP 101 is sitting on top of my Bible, and I'm like, I don't know if you're supposed to like have your gun sitting on top of your Bible. It's just like probably not cool. I don't know. Maybe it is. Guns and guns and guts. So here's some cool hairstyles,
Right.
Some more NASA fakery. What do you think about that? Hold on, before I show this, what do you think about that 360 view camera? Because it destroys the flat Earth, don't it?
I could. Yeah. I could barely see because I used my phone. I'd switch over the.
Okay, because you're on your phone.
You said that on the PC.
Hold on, you're kind of roboting.
So you said my Twitter tab. Oops. Still or no?
Let me see if I. Yeah, you're roboting on me. Whoa, that's a long fucking link. Anyway, that's the Unilad article I just put in the chat. So if anybody wants to read that themselves about the 360-degree camera in space. I don't know, man. people.
Yeah, I just saw that on.
I don't know. I keep losing you. You got a mute thing on right now. Anyway, I'll pull this up while you.
On tabs here on my computer. Helps my robot sound.
All right. So here's the
better now.
Some more comparison of hair. The hair is the killer. Oh, good. Lisa's here just in time.
The way the International Space Station hoax is the women. Now, women on zero-G planes with long hair, their hair flows naturally in the air. Women on the International Space Station, because this is all fraud, no matter what she does, no matter how she bounces around, you would expect her hair to flow in the air, and it does not happen. Their hair will never look like that because it's permed. The way the International Space Station hoax.
So there's more and more people noticing that the hair is a giveaway.
Do I sound better yet?
Yeah, it sounds a little bit better.
Okay, just closing tabs.
Another
down
thing
here.
they do is they make like a mock-up of what you think is a horizontal passageway, right? Like they're inside the space station, but it's actually vertical and they're hanging, right? And they got the camera down looking up, but you're looking at it and it looks like they're in a hallway floating weightless, but they're actually in a shaft and you're looking up at them. But you don't have any way of knowing that, because how do you know the orientation of a photograph, really, right? Unless you've got a horizon or something to go by. So yeah, that's another way they fake that shit. Have those guys looking around. I mean, it's just dumb shit every way you go. Let me see. I had some more on the old NASA space fake shit. Oh, was that it? No. Okay, yeah. There's this guy on, let me see if I can find him. He was responding to this photograph, and I'm sure we've all seen this, where there's a guy out there supposedly working on the Hubble Space Telescope, and they noticed that his shoes were on the wrong feet. And he's like floating there in space with these shoes on the wrong feet. Okay. Well, there's this guy, and I shit you not, man. This guy is a cone head. I got to find him. Where is that guy? This guy is totally maybe he's, I can find him in my replies. Hold on a second. You would be surprised that this guy is, I'm like, I can't even take him serious. Why would you even, if you had a head that looked like this guy has, why would you even post your picture on your profile? Oh, he hasn't said nothing in a little while. I'm going to have to go down a ways. I'll find him though. You guys are going to be amazed at this. This guy is just really something else. Maybe I can just search for him. Man, people have been this guy just keeps posting the same thing over and over and over. And that's what they do. They just tell. And then when somebody blocks them eventually, they claim like it's some kind of a victory that they won or something. Oh, there's the guy. Let me get this guy's picture. Look at this. What the fuck? So this guy is like a glober, right? He's a globe troll on Twitter. He's not very bright at all. And every time I'm like, I can't, I'm like, I asked him, I said, do you drive? And he said, yes. And I says, do you have a sunroof? I mean,
oh my God.
I mean, how the fuck are you driving? How do you get in the car?
Oh, that is hilarious. Yeah, he's one of those pear-shaped Earth believers, maybe.
Oh my God, no! And he's so terrible. He's so terrible at his You know, and even his attempts at trolling are just, and most of them are that way. They're just pathetic as shit. Yeah, I mean, wow. They can't meme. It's almost like these Democrats are, these lefties. I watched the little battle between the righties and the lefties, and the shit that the righties put out is funny as fuck, man. And then the shit that the lefts are putting out is just like, wow, that's really weak, man. It's very no humor. I mean, it's like, don't you know the essence of humor at all? You know, they can't get it. They can't.
Yeah, they literally don't. And it's not even trying to make fun of them. There's just some kind of people that just they think things like that are nonsense. They're they're beyond that kind of thinking, and they're just surprised that somebody would use such a thing as humor. It's just shocking to them.
Oh yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah. Then they go and do their hair blue and freaking pick one of 80 genders to put on their profile and all these different countries as flags. They're all super duper cool.
Yeah. And you can tell these guys, man. You can tell these guys immediately because in their profile, they'll have the homo flag and the LGBT flag and the Ukraine flag. And it's sort of like everything about them is, I support the current thing, whatever the media told me to support today. That's what I'm after.
Hey, your boy FTFE. I found him on Twitter the other day when you were talking about him, how he's spiraling. So I found him on Twitter and I wrote to him. I wrote, Felicia, the flat earther, sure made a fool of herself on that debate. And he wrote back and said, laugh out loud, satire, I win.
Yeah. He's really.
Isn't that funny? Laugh out loud, satire, I win. I mean, what the bloody hell is that supposed to mean? Is that supposed to be funny?
He told me, he said, he says he won that. He thinks he won that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way you fucking won that. So he had this thing on there about where him and his daughter had debunked something, together. And I just reposted it and said, I support mother-daughter activities. I mean, why do these dudes always look like a lesbian school teacher, man? I mean, I swear to God.
So I wrote it back and I said, laugh out loud. I win. Laugh my ass off. What a cute little girl. Give back the tablet to your mommy. And then he writes me, does it hurt that I ruined your hero so badly?
Oh my God.
So I said, that's not what my impression or what the poll said.
No. Well, there's going to be a guy. I'm trying to see. I could have swore I had reposted it, and I'm looking for it right now. Let me see. Where is it? Maybe it's with the thing. I'll just go to Caleb's. Because he told him he was like, I'll tell you what. He says, I'll debate you, but after, here he is. Let me see. All right, so let's see. New parameters for me to debate. Okay, yeah. Let me bring this up. So I think I can increase. Oops, I don't want to do that. Let me go back. I want to be over here. Right? Gotta be careful where your mouse was last at. Okay, so he said new parameters for me to debate. This is Craig. It says all you must do is react to the analysis of at Mindshock, and I should follow this guy. The analysis that this guy produces, and this is Bruce McGuire, live in front of your audience, and leave the stream up indefinitely, and I will debate you again on Simon and Dan's channel. I warn. Let me see. I warn both of you, if Dan does not moderate, is clearly biased, allows and or produces degenerate behavior, I will promptly leave the conversation. I don't even care if you stream and make money anymore. All I want is for you to react to this logical analysis on your channel and leave it up forever. What do you say? Do you accept? And I don't see where are you at. All you got to do is review analysis and leave it on your channel indefinitely. We can debate again on Simon Dan's channel. You going to agree, or are you going to run from the dialogue you begged for? The people are waiting, moron. I don't know if he responded to that. Wow. There's somebody who was triggered. Heavy duty. Did you see that response? Fuck you, bitch ass flat tard POS. You are a retarded flurf cuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So let's
Yeah.
see, where did he go?
They're getting really triggered right now. These trolls are majorly triggered.
Yes, sir. They've had a bad week. They had a real bad week. First, Elon crashes into the firmament, and hashtag firmament starts trending all over on Twitter. Then the next thing you know, this clown goes on and debates Caleb and gets his ass handed to him.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they're not having a good time. Not at all.
No. So part of the trolls that you had yesterday on your channel, one of them was saying that he was asking about if we understood what deep underground military bases were, aka DUMBs.
Yeah.
And I replied to him and said, well, what's pretty dumb of them is they think they can hide from God down there.
Yes.
And he wrote back. And he wrote back to me and told me that we are going to all end up in one of those sooner or later, you fuckers, or something like that. So it was great. So and I told him that was a threat, so he left.
You think some people said, and Lisa said that wasn't Nick. I think it was, and the one sock account busted himself out because somebody said that there's something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing, that Sav destroyed you in that debate, and he says, bullshit, I won that debate.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you weren't Nick.
Yep.
Right.
No, that vegetitis guy was definitely a Nick in the that account, but this is a different one. This one was like Biden's should prosecute FE was the name of the account.
In there, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, Biden's gonna prosecute flat Earth. Well, wait a minute, big problem. My house has stairs.
Yeah.
So I don't think Biden's gonna be able to go upstairs. Hasn't been able to yet. So
that's his nemesis.
Yeah.
That's his election campaign thing, is he's going to put ramps, get rid of all the steps and put up ramps.
Maybe we could.
That's some kind of fucking actor or guy with a mask, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, of course. Yeah. The fucker can probably do, what do you call it? Dancing around, all kinds of stuff. I'm sure he can. He's probably just fine. Definitely able-bodied enough to traffic.
No, it's Nick. I don't think he was hiding so much as, I don't know. He would hide. I mean, I don't know why you would want to keep getting embarrassed like that. I think it's funny.
Well, whoever it was, if it really was Nick, he made an absolute ass of himself. I mean, how embarrassing. I was embarrassed for him.
Yeah.
Watching his comments going over, calling everybody's names, like acting like a little 5-year-old girl that's autistic, and oh my gosh, it was really sad.
He certainly doesn't make he certainly doesn't make academia look good.
No.
To come on and tout yourself as a higher education educator, supposed facilitator of knowledge, sure do act like a junior high school student,
Yeah, maybe Nick does spell better than that. I don't know him well enough. But Lisa, yeah, he kind of alluded to possibly being Nick too. Actually, still, who knows?
Well, we know that one sock account absolutely was because we watched him bust himself in real time.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's all there is to that. I mean, I saw that happen, man. He turned around and said, "Oh no, bullshit! I won that debate." Oh really? What debate were you on? You've never been. You know, you've never been on this channel. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've been working on wiki stuff. It's been spreading around. The Globebusters has been shouting it out. I've been on the Iron Realm now, and so
On the
just
what? The Iron
the Iron Realm Media on their
Oh,
show.
okay.
Yeah, I've gone onto their show a couple weeks ago, and that's with Zach Zabala. So he brought it up on Globebusters for a couple times now, and then all of a sudden my YouTube has been getting a lot of subscribers, and then I've updated my links on my YouTube account because of that to help them find the wiki easier, because I didn't even list it there. I just brought it my Telegram, and so now people are joining the Telegram group. I have a group called True Earth Wiki Discussion, so people can ask questions or drop tips or stuff in there for it to help participate. So it's been been very active and busy lately, so it's kind of why I haven't joined your shows and stuff. I mean, I've been here listening in the background, but
well, look, Peter says here, ballers have a better success of turning people to FE. That's absolutely true. These guys have actually been hurting their cause.
yes, they have.
You know,
I tell ballers that. Oh, thank you, Shifty Eye Shady. Very cool. I appreciate that. Yes, I see you. You and I think Push Buttons and Benny Boy has been shouting it out too here and there, which is really awesome. Because we're these guys are all over the place at different shows that I'm on also. So that's been awesome. So yeah, it's again doing that tipping point thing. It's a lot of people are starting to become aware of it. I was told that on the Telegram group that the link to the wiki has been noticed by stupid Facebook, and they're starting to get picky and sensitive to that being spread around and already starting to censor it. So I figured that's an achievement.
Yeah. Getting over the target.
no longer on the balls. Anson Howard, no longer on the balls. Well, if you just say no longer on the ball without the S, you might be able to find me.
It sounds like a recovered homo or something, like that.
Exactly.
I went through deprogramming and now I'm no longer on the balls, and I'm grateful.
I no longer slap balls on my chin, and
there you go.
Oh gosh.
So I get the hardest time trying to get these people, man, and it's like I even did the same thing. I was had a back and forth with Craig on Twitter today about that. And then he goes, and he's always like McToons' dad or some shit, man, is the way he acts. And he says, oh, if you go over here to McToon has this thing, he's measured the different gravitational gradient. I said, once again, dude, you're talking about an effect. Have you isolated the independent variable of quote unquote gravity? Right? No, you haven't. You can't prove that. You could just as much say, if you want to use it in the buoyancy volume, the buoyancy formula, that weight due to gravity, you could say weight due to unicorn dust or weight due to magic. It makes no difference. It's not a proof of this variable that has never been manipulated. However, on the other hand, we can manipulate the variables in the buoyancy and density equations, right? And we know that it's merely a case of changing the ratios of the medium to the object. That's it. It's relative to the medium that something's in. That's why it's relative density.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I like how you, I think it was you, stand at the bottom of the pool and let go of an orange. Does it fall?
Right. Right.
So where's your gravity there? And it's a perfect example of buoyancy and density.
Yep.
So yeah, that's freaking awesome.
Speak of the devil, Benny Boy just sent me a thing. It said it was where it's asked, and let's see if we can bring this up. Yeah, it said, is gravity a theory or a fact? Okay. And notice that this is not from a satire site. Okay. The entire theory is based on borderline proofs. There are many serious gaps in the theory, and hence we would like to say that the universal theory of gravitation is not a fact. It's a theory, an important theory nonetheless. And that's from the 13th of February of 2020. Okay, so there it is. There's another resource that we can look at right there. In order to do something, you have to have some tangible evidence of it, some actual tangible proof of it, right? And, you know, this is why they worry so bad when you pin them down on it, because without their gravity, there goes their planets, there goes their orbits, there goes all that other nonsense, because the only way they can demonstrate that is through mathematical equations. And as we all know, despite what some retards think, math is not reality. Math is a description. So if you've got a nonsense idea and you make some math that matches your nonsense idea, that doesn't make it any less nonsense, right? I don't know how people don't get that. They just get, you know, oh, look, math. Oh, it's like, it doesn't, listen, it's a description. That's not proof of anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it goes right down, even when you're doing with the calculation of the distance of the sun, as though something like that could actually, I don't think it could be done, to tell you the truth, because as I've said before, I don't think the sun we see, I don't think we each see the exact same sun. I think it's apparent. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And then there's that
swimming
pool thing with the glass wall you showed us a few episodes ago.
Yeah, the refraction.
His body looked like it was twisted to the side, and his head was clear over in the middle of the pool. And as he got closer to the wall, they got more aligned. So imagine looking at a light bulb in the water at the wall on the side of the pool. What would it look like? It would look like that light bulb is right there. Yeah. Right there where his shorts are. That's what you'd be seeing if there was a light bulb. But yet the light bulb could be, you know, out there in the center. And you don't even need a curve.
Right.
That looks curved.
If you've ever stuck a stick into the lake and looked at where the stick continues on past the water, you've got that break. That's the refraction, man.
Exactly. I think that is closer to what's happening with the sun and its position. Is it's basically getting refracted like that. And it has to be, because refraction occurs whenever you look through one density of medium that is adjacent to another density of medium. It causes refraction.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's air versus water, those are two different densities.
Right.
If it's glass versus air, if it's helium versus oxygen,
mm-hmm.
You know, all of these different layers of gas that are supposedly up there, which I believe they are, you know, above, you're already looking through different mediums, layers of it. And so you are going to have a refraction one way or the other. And so whenever you try to measure distances to stars from the ground with these telescopes, that's BS. If you're going to measure to the sun or to planets, and say how far away it is and do all this parallax, it's all BS, because you can't even guarantee you're actually, even though your needle is pointing straight up at it, it doesn't mean it's actually right there above you.
Right. So I'm going to kind of like draw a thing here. Let's see if I can share this. Wasn't that Nick giving me some shit because I was using paint, and I was like, hey, it's handy, it's right here, and why not, right? So let's put us an object in our area here. We're gonna draw this little line right here.
I'm sorry, I'm with Nick on that one.
So let's see, can we fill that in? I don't know. I need to get a little bit more familiar with this program a little bit more. I can probably do quite a bit with it. But in any case, this is going to be a solid object. Okay, this is a solid ball. Okay, and it's in the air. Okay, now if it were gravity that's causing the gradient of pressure in our atmos, right, then we would have some kind at least of a measurable force showing that it's pushing down, right? The pressure in a downward direction would be more than it is in the other directions, right? But gas doesn't behave that way. What we get instead is we have the pressure is exerted on the object in all directions equally. Okay. And this is just due to the fact that it's displacing that medium. So it's not causing a strictly downward direction with the air. Okay, so that's the idea that gravity is somehow pulling air down is ridiculous, because you've never seen gas. Gas just doesn't behave that way. Okay, it just doesn't behave that way. It goes in all directions unless it's stopped by something. Something has to stop it in order to stop it from going in that direction. So consequently, it will expand to fill the empty space until it dissipates out as far as it can.
Until it evaporates.
So there's no way that you could actually have only this downward thing that's occurring supposedly with the atmosphere. Atmosphere, that's a dumb term in the first place. When has anybody ever seen fucking air in a ball? A sphere is a ball, right?
Yep, atmos.
Air in a ball. You're never going to see that.
Yep, it's called atmos.
Right, it's just the atmos. It's just the gases. And then
atmos flat.
Yeah, the atmos flat, atmos plane.
Yeah.
You want to atmos plane? I don't know. It's just atmos. I wouldn't say. I'm not going to claim a shape.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. I'm that way with right now. Even the dome. I don't even know if the dome is actually a bowl, if it's even a dome, or if it's a flat surface up there. I've really no idea.
Well, right. We know that rockets are hitting something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It does appear to exhibit aquatic characteristics. All right. But what its actual composition is, I don't know. What its actual shape is, I don't know. But I know also that it is necessary in order to have a fluid pressure system. That's just basics. You are never going to have any kind of fluid pressure without containment. That's
some kind of sealment.
You got to
be sealed off.
Yep.
That's all the way it is. It's all the way.
I mean, you can ask your plumber, ask a mechanic,
sealed off.
ask an HVAC guy. Shit, it's just about anybody. They're gonna. I mean, the pressure systems that they use for their rocket, so to speak, require containment as well. So that's well known and exhibited even within their fakery, when they're trying to make you believe they're up in some kind of a glorified double wide flying around in space.
If you're going to blood pressure into something, if you're going to blood pressure,
mm-hmm.
and it's wanting to be held, it's got to be in a container.
Yep.
No way around it.
Because what it's the word press.
It's got to be in a non-leakable container.
Right. Well, that's for a gas pressure. There's various different kinds of containers for different applications.
Valve release valves on if they go too high.
Like this grinder right here is holding my weed. Right. Okay.
Which is very good weed.
So it's adequate for that application. It's not adequate for holding water.
Right.
It's not adequate for holding a gas.
Right.
Okay. So a container means just nothing more than something that provides the act of containment. And various containers are suitable for different applications. A straw basket, for instance, is a great container when you're collecting eggs. It ain't worth a shit when you're collecting water.
But like I say, when we're describing it as a container, I would almost have to be described as like a closed container.
It has to be for gas. It has to be a closed container, especially. And there lies the problem of the assumption of the medium beyond the containment. You see, we're told that it's a void, basically a vacuum. Again, another type of thing that cannot exist without containment. It's actually impossible.
To have a vacuum, you got to have a container.
Yep. Nowhere in nature is there a vacuum.
Right.
So
I made a page after you on the wiki. It's called Observations Gas Pressure Container.
Oh yeah, did you? You can link. I got a couple of videos where I did some stuff just using an ordinary sealable glass bowl and water. And
yeah.
You know, that's I think it's one's called Contained Atmos, and Consider the Medium is the other one. I need to do some more like that, some like household experiments type thing.
Yeah, it's those basic ones that seem to trigger them, ballers more than these little, sci-fi super technical discussions. Yeah. These little things like gas pressure seems to trigger them just as much, if not more.
It's as simple as a demonstration of a soda can. Okay. Mm-hmm. If gravity could prevent equalization, then it would do so when I open the soda. It's that simple. You can't have any kind of a pressure or gradient or not without containment. Now, if your container is not all the way full, then of course you're going to get more of a gradient, aren't you? Mm-hmm. If you let's just say you have a thing that holds 100 cubic miles of air, right? But of 100 cubic miles of the Atmos, right? But you only have like 30% of that you can actually of the actual fluid to put in there. You've got a lot of emptiness above that, or lower pressure above that. So it's not there's no way that it could be all just pushing in, because fluids don't react that way. They just don't fucking work like that. I don't know. It's hard to get people to wrap their head around, because they've been stoned off into this fucking belief system for so damn long, you know?
With it.
Oh no, here it says only the wealthy are going to be able to travel. That's all right.
Yeah, they've been talking about this shit for a little bit too.
Yeah, 15-minute cities and shit like that. So I have some context. Oh yeah, this is let me go back to my page. There I am. I had some other stuff on here. Oh, we ain't gonna stay on all night tonight, y'all.
What time did you turn on last night, dude?
Oh shit, we was on for what, 6 hours?
I started to stop in here at 11:30 last night.
Oh hell, you could have. I was sitting right here.
I don't want to piss you off. I said it's a little late. I did. I come up here. Cindy let me use her car all night last night because she worked. She stayed at Woman's house last night. I said, I'm gonna ride up here to Davies where I'm going. She said, all right, go ahead. I read about here, but TV was on in front. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
11:30.
He usually is. Yeah. I was trying to. Oh, this was pretty good. This is from, I guess that it was from some TV show. I don't watch TV a whole lot, but this was pretty good. Oh, I don't have it. Wait a second. There we go. Do.
Come on, go get in the truck.
Look, you're wasting our time. You're not going to get us to not believe in evolution.
And why is that?
Because the smartest scientists in the entire world all agree that it's real.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because, Mr. Reynolds, science is a liar sometimes.
Oh, boy.
This is Aristotle, thought to be the smartest man on the planet. He believed that the Earth was the center of the universe, and everybody believed him because he was so smart. Until another smartest guy came around, Galileo, and he disproved that theory, making Aristotle and everybody else on Earth look like a bitch. Of course, Galileo then thought comets were an optical illusion, and there's no way that the moon could cause the ocean's tides. Everybody believed that because he was so smart. He was also wrong, making him and everyone else on Earth look like a bitch again. And then, best of all, Sir Isaac Newton gets born and blows everybody's nips off with his big brains. Of course, he also thought he could turn metal into gold and died eating mercury, making him yet another stupid bitch. Are you seeing a pattern?
No.
Mr. Reynolds, these were all the smartest scientists on the planet. Only problem is they kept being wrong sometimes.
This is insane, you fool!
I'm a fool because I have more faith in the saints that wrote the Bible?
Yeah, because you just read the words of a bunch of guys that you never met, and you just take it on faith that everything they wrote was true.
And what makes you think what your scientists are writing is any more truer than my saints?
Because there are volumes of proven data, numbers, figures. There are fossil records.
Oh, fossil records. I didn't even think about the fossil records. I guess I'll concede. Oh, wait, well, one more thing before I do, Mr. Reynolds. Have you seen these fossil records?
Have I? Huh?
Have you poured through the data yourself? The numbers, the figures?
Well, no. No.
Oh, interesting. So let me get this straight, Mr. Reynolds. You get your information from a book written by men you've never met, and you take their words as truth based on a willingness to believe, a desire to accept, a leap of, dare I say it, faith?
Come on. Look, I mean, I don't even know how I'm supposed to respond to that. Like, come on. That's a false equivalency.
Just answer the question, Mr. Reynolds. Sure. Yeah. Okay. I rest my case.
Well, that got me. Yeah.
Frank, do you want me to?
Put me over.
Yeah, all right. What? Well, we're going on the fence. I mean, it's a shadow of a doubt.
You actually don't believe in evolution anymore?
I don't know. He created a reasonable doubt. He makes you sound like a stupid science bitch.
That's good.
Oh, my God.
Nice.
Make you sound like a stupid science bitch, right? Right.
I sent you a gravity demo. So it's a little stupid cartoon I drew, animated, and it shows it's in your private chat. It's called gravity demo .gif.
All right, let me see here.
And I got that. Yeah, so I made that from watching Jaron's channel when he was talking about containment, and gas pressure and gravity. He says, if you had a little box of gas pressure and you had a string or something to remote control it, and you open it, would the gas escape?
Right.
So I drew that little thing up really quick and made a little animated GIF.
Yeah, I've used that example before myself. That if you open that box and you put it in a vacuum chamber, and you have a way that you can open it, maybe a little remote control or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you have that thing, you sealed it up in the ambient air pressure where you're at. And then you put it in the vacuum chamber and suck out all the air as best as you can. Then hit the remote control and open up the little box. If gravity's holding the air, then it should remain in the box. But it won't. It will succumb to entropy, to equalization, immediately, violently.
Yep. And they say, where in the world are we going to be able to do such an experiment to scale, as if we can actually prove what you're saying about gas pressure, sticking to the ground?
Right. You still haven't demonstrated that gravity has an effect on gas. You haven't
Well,
even demonstrated gravity.
so all you ballers who are looking for an opportunity to test this theory out to scale, all they need to do is go outside and look down. Right there's the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's Earth. It's to scale.
Mm-hmm.
It's real as life.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been said to have the highest gravity, the highest level of gravity on Earth is right there between your feet. So that's the strongest as gravity is going to get, is right there between your feet. When you're outside of the, you get out of your basement and you go outside and you stand on the grass right there. That's the strongest gravity you're going to ever be able to experience in your whole life. And so if you want to do an experiment, if gas can be held down by gravity, then put some gas in a container, stick it between your feet on the ground and open it up.
Right.
And see if it goes, psh, and if it does, I'm
way ahead of you. Way
Yeah.
ahead of you, Joel. I went out today, and because of the cold weather, when I fired up my Jeep, little warning came on and said that my tire pressure in one of my tires was low. And of course, because the cold had caused the air to contract. So I got my little air compressor. I got a little portable air compressor out, turned it on, let the little tank fill up, and then I filled my tire up. But I didn't want to leave that compressed air in that tank. So I've got a little relief valve, and I pulled it, and it was sitting right down on the ground, right on the driveway. And as soon as I pulled it, that air come right out of there. Psh, gravity didn't keep it in there, not for a fucking second. Right. Not for a second. Came right out.
Container.
Yep. So sure. The whole idea of gravity and that demonstration that guy used was so stupid. Where was that? He had the where was he? Let me go back to that some kind of pink gas. Now, that's assuming that that's even a real fucking picture, right? Let me see, where was that? I'm coming up. This. This here, right? He says contained horizontally so we can use less pink gas, but look, no cap, it's not contained vertically. Okay.
Yeah, same with the ocean.
Right. Same thing with the ocean. It's contained in a basin, and technically the less dense material above it does act as a container because it's what's keeping it from at the lower level where it's at. I told him, I just take the fucking flask away. Build me a tower of pink gas without the container, right? He can't fucking do it. Of course. Hey, you guys. Moonshadow. Quit your troublemaking with him.
Yeah. Just take away the flask, right?
Right. Just take away the flask. What are you going to do with it? I think the cone-headed guy sent me that one last time too. And it's like, man, don't they ever get tired? And always that one distorted picture of the bridge of the power lines on Lake Pontchartrain. You know the one I'm talking about? And so look, there's curvature there. No, it's not, man. Look, real careful at that far end. That's reflection. That's reflection in the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that fucking building that Red's Rhetoric tries to use. You zoom in close on that and you look, those bottom windows, what's going on with them bottom windows? They're twice as big as the other ones. What's happening there?
Yep,
and then you
they
see
merge.
a tree and an exact reflection of the top of that tree just below it and shit. And it's like, oh, it's a mirror line.
Yep, it's a mirror line. Yep, and it makes the building look taller than it is.
Yep.
So therefore, right centered in the mirror line is probably the bottom of the building.
All right, Johnny, you have a good night, buddy.
I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow sometime.
All right, bro.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. So yeah, I get tired of these guys just as much as anybody else, and I can really understand Caleb's frustration. You know, he just said, "Fuck it, I'm not going to be nice to these fuckers no more." Look at them; they're just godless atheists, and they're just here to fucking piss people off. That's all they do. You know.
Yep, they're making money off of fooling people and tricking them based on the limitation of our senses for eyesight and things like that. And that's how they did it all along. We can only see so far. Oh, let's use that to our advantage. You know, kind of a thing, right? So.
Oh, yeah, Ryan, my son just responded. I sent him that article earlier from about the what the fuck is that damn thing, the 360 camera. He said they are definitely laughing now that the indignation of globies who have live feed of the earth. First of all, I thought they already had that. What's this different about this one? Well, they wrapped it around and distorted it so much that it whatever they're looking at looks like a ball. That's what they did. So we got Dr. Ake is here with us again. So welcome him up.
How's everybody going up down there?
Oh, doing great, man. Doing great. Looks
Hey.
like you got a nice sunny day down there. It's summertime for you, isn't it?
Bloody oath, yeah. It's pretty cool where I am, but up in Perth, they hit 30 degrees a couple of times already.
That's great.
Yeah, but you know, don't be misled by the people in the world that think Australia's on the bottom of the globe, because I can tell you I am on top of the world here. I am here doing the Creator's work.
There you go, babe. That's right. I love it. You know, and that's the thing. And technically, anywhere that you would be if you were on a sphere, I mean, minus the topographical features, but let's say that the whole thing was just a big ball of water, right? Wherever you would be at, you would be at the highest point. And that would be true for everyone. Because you're always at the highest apex of the arc, no matter where you are on a sphere.
Yeah, and all of the oceans should flow away from us.
Yeah. Some of this shit, man. And listen,
hey, Dave.
Getting comical.
Dave.
What's that?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yeah. Listen, you know I'm a silly old prick, don't you? And people call me all sorts of names. But do you think there's any more people to wake up? I'd like to see some numbers or some research or anecdotes. Like, I mean, all the people that are watching you, has any of them... I mean, are we wasting our time trying to tell them what the truth is if they fucking can't open their eyes? I tell my grandkids, anybody can hold their thumb up at arm's length and see the sun and the moon exactly the same fucking size.
Well,
do you think?
I think that I think it's growing. Yes, I do. I think it's having an effect. I really do. Because you figure each one of the people that comes in here, and let's face it, not everybody that's in here right now was a flat earther before they came here. You know, I've got a few people that they came to the realization that they're not on a globe by watching my show, and others. Now, here's the beauty of it. Each one of those people, because it's an exciting thing and you want to tell people, you want them to understand it. It's a natural inclination for you to want other people to understand it, right? To realize that, hey, you've been believing some bullshit because of how profoundly it affects yourself. You want to share that with people. And so they consequently will be talking to other people about it. It will come up in conversation. And then what happens is they might talk to 20 people and 2 people might get it, let's just say. And I think that's low, but let's just say 2 people. Those 2 people are going to end up talking about it to other people. And it starts spreading around that way. And this is what we're seeing happening. And I'm noticing it. Simon Dan did a poll even. And it still came out on his poll, 37% said the earth was flat. Now that was without offering the option of I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's not legitimate way to go about it.
Well,
it's like
I'm comparing different people taking polls, and I'm taking averages of those polls. I'm going with averages of those polls, and that's why I'm comfortably predicting that there will be a flat Earth tipping point this year. This next year, there will be a flat Earth tipping point. I'm positive.
Yeah, I really truly hope you're right, but how you're not as old as me, are you?
No, I don't believe so, but I don't know how old you are, Dr. Ake. What'd you say? You were 70?
75.
75. No, I'm not. In fact, Sunday I'll be 58 years old. So I just look older. I've got a lot of miles on me.
Hey, Dave.
Yo.
Just imagine what you will know in another 20 years.
Oh, God. Are we even going to last another 20 years? I have to wonder, man. They're really ramping up the efforts to try to kill us off. I mean, now here they go again with another bout of this shit getting ready to start their crap again. You know, with the face diapers and the injections and all that bullshit. Watch it go, boy. 37% said that the earth was flat, coming from a channel that's probably 100% ballers. Yes. Yeah. That's what I was getting at. That was amazing, because that's why I use Simon Dan, because he's I don't know if you're familiar with him or not, Dr. Ake, but he's one of these anti-flat earth people, boy. And they're vehement. They're almost borderline evil, you know?
Yes, I know who they are.
Yeah, not even borderline evil. They're not even borderline evil. They're actually full straight on evil, because when you're trying to deceive people and you know they know better, they're not stupid, but they are reassuring their gullible audience of what they want to believe to be true. That's all they're doing. And they're relying on the gullibility of their people and the flim flam of their channel, their words, in order to deceive these people. And that pisses me off. That really does. I am against any form of tyranny over the minds of men, and I'll expose it at every turn. I won't let it stand.
Hey, you're a beautiful soul, Dave. Fuck, this would be an amazing place if there was just 100 like you in this country. Oh my God.
Now, see, that's the opposite. My wife says, "Oh my God," when she met my son, she goes, "Oh my God, there's 2 of you." We can be a bit trying, but I appreciate that, Dr. Ake. Thank you. That makes me feel really nice.
Yeah. Hey, I've got 5 kids, right? And I mean, I knew they were lying to us when I was 7 years old. Because the teacher had this bloody globe on the desk, and she started telling the kids, and I started laughing, and I said, "Is this cartoon hour or something?" you know?
I can relate because I was like, well, that doesn't
But
make sense. How do you not fall off of that? They said, because we have this gravity. I said, what's gravity? He says, what makes you stick to the earth? And I says, well, it's spinning around. They said, yeah. And I says, well, what is it? And they said, well, it's kind of like magnetism. And I was like, I was really little. And I said, but I'm not made out of metal. And he says, well, because it's spinning around causes you to stick to it. And that just I couldn't get it. I was like, are you kidding me? I just came in off the playground and we were on the merry-go-round and that thing tried its damnedest to throw me off of it. And you're telling me that spinning makes me want to stick to it? And I never could. I was like, okay, whatever. Right. I thought this is crazy shit. And he says, well, take a bucket and put a rope on the handle and put some water in it. And if you swing it around, it'll stay in the bucket. Well, hell, I lived on a lake. I'd already played with centrifugal force and what water does and shit. I spent every day of the summer in the water. So I already knew what that would do. And I was like, well, yeah, but it's still inside of the bucket. And he goes, well, that's how gravity works. I goes, no. I said, what's holding me? That makes absolutely zero sense to me. Take the bottom of the bucket out. Now what happens to the water? And that teacher got really mad at me. And I couldn't understand why. I was like, wait a second, you're supposed to be making me understand this shit. And now I see it for what it was. You didn't accept it. You questioned it. So now I'm going to become angry at you as a deterrent to you asking any more questions. You've got me pinned in a corner and I don't want to concede to this. Either accept it or don't. That's their whole attitude. And they use there again, another form of quote unquote punishment to beat you into line into believing their nonsense. I mean, we saw them do it the last 3 years where they wanted to treat those that didn't want to go have the experiment like second-class citizens, didn't want to allow them to be able to get food, wanted to restrict their access to different services and shit like that as a way to coerce people along to follow the herd, man. And that's just crazy. It's like this propaganda shit that they give us with Israel, right? That's what we get, 100% fucking propaganda with that shit. Nobody stops and really looks into it. This is pretty cool. I wanted to show this. This guy does some skits on this issue, and he puts it in a context that you can really kind of understand what's really going on. And I think this is pretty good. Just watch this for a sec.
Dude, what the hell are you doing? Defending myself? What's it to you? You're gonna kill him. Oh my God. Why do you hate all followers of my faith so much? What's happening? You criticizing me means you hate me and all adherents to my religion. I couldn't care less what religion you are, buddy. I just want you to stop beating that guy to death. Ah, you see? Defending him. That means you hate us. That's not true. I detest what you're doing in our name. Well, that's because you hate yourself. Mate, this isn't about your religion. Just be reasonable, yeah? La, 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 la. They're doing it again. Yeah, sorry, guys. If you criticize him, you're anti his religion. So, but that's ridiculous. Like, it is a bit ridiculous, isn't it? Want me to tell everyone what you did to my grandparents again? He's right. You're wrong. Move along. Oh, and both of you just lost your jobs.
I think that pretty well sums it up, man.
That's great.
I mean, that does. It sums it right up. In fact, I'm going to have to download that. I got to keep that. You got to, because then all of a sudden the fickleness of the sensors will kick in, and the next thing you know, it's gone. You'll never be able to reference it again. That's why if I see something that's kind of hot, I grab a hold of it. And I keep it. Like, here's a good thing right here. I'm going to grab this and then I'm going to show it to you guys because this is a good one too. On the Mickelson Morley. Hang on 1 second. Let me get it. Quade. This is kind of good.
And yet we have Einstein with his one quote.
Well, if the Earth is moving around the sun and we shoot that light beam in the direction that the Earth is moving, okay, and then we shoot another light beam perpendicular to that, well, the one that's in the direction of the Earth's movement should be impeded in some way if it's moving through space, whereas this one that's going perpendicular would not be impeded.
Why not?
Because it's not going through space. It's just going north and south.
Okay.
Okay. And what they expected to have a 30-kilometer difference between these two light beams. There was no difference. So the natural interpretation, and even Einstein admits this, Mach admits this, Bohr admits this, the natural interpretation is that the Earth isn't moving. So how do we get out of that? Well, you invent special relativity. And now you say, well, the reason that light beam wasn't affected when it went toward the motion of the Earth is because the apparatus shortened.
Huh?
Yeah, Michelson's apparatus shortened as it was going with the Earth in its orbit around the sun.
No, wait, you're telling me that the contraction of mass was invented to explain away the results of the Michelson-Morley experiment?
But they put it into a mathematical formula called the Lorentz transform, and it's probably the most famous equation used in physics today.
Does anyone expressly admit that, hey, we had to come up with this contraction effect because otherwise we're stuck with a motionless
Yes,
Earth?
the very guy who invented it.
Tell me what
Heinrich
he
Lorentz.
admitted.
Heinrich Lorentz says, I don't have any other explanation to this experiment of Michelson-Morley unless I contract the apparatus. Otherwise, we're going to have to believe the Earth is standing still in space.
Unbelievable.
It probably is.
And yet-
It's a lie. It's a conspiracy to make us. It's a CIA op because your senses are wrong despite what you think. I know when you look out, it looks flat, but that's because your senses are wrong. And I know you don't feel the spin of 1,050 miles an hour. You don't feel the Mach 88 around the sun. And that's because of math. You understand? So, you don't believe your senses. Believe this cockamamie shit that you have to have all kinds of faith and belief to hang in with. I mean, it's just, come on, man. Is that okay? Yeah, I was in that post. They want you to believe this crap so badly. Who was asking me about it? I found a thing about the Freemasons. Somebody was asking me about, Johnny was. That guy that was here a little while ago. Bless his heart. He's excited he wants to start a channel, but he doesn't know what to make the channel about. He thinks it's kind of cool to be able to do this and talk to a lot of people and shit. And so I don't know, maybe I'll help him out, bring him on here a few times. I don't know what his wheelhouse is really. So we'll see. It's hard. Earth is stationary and it is peer reviewed. Absolutely. All my peers have, in fact, I've peered at it and I reviewed it and I accept it. There you go. That's how I look at it. This is pretty interesting regarding our founding fathers and the Freemasons. This is kind of cool. This is from one of their own little things they do. Their little LARPing things. Of course, that's fast forward.
I hold that to be self-evident, Brother Franklin. All men are created equal. Indeed, Brother Washington. All Freemasons meet as equals, and we have an opportunity to create a nation in the very essence of Masonic morality. It would be wonderfully symbolic, don't you think?
You'll be wanting to put the all-seeing eye on our banknotes next. We have great promises for our new nation. I wonder if other presidents after me will also be Freemasons.
Many will be. America will produce a great many great Americans from many different walks of life and many different fields, and many will be Masons. Sportsmen, actors, writers, soldiers, filmmakers, businessmen, inventors, astronauts. But don't forget the musicians. Do not forget.
And that's where they came up with. Did you know there's a whole sect of Black Masons? I forgot what they're called. My son told me about them. I can't remember what they're called right now. Prince something. If anybody knows, put it in the chat. But yeah, there's a whole group of a whole sect of Black Masons, and I think they're called the something Prince. Oh, what did I do? I don't remember. But yeah, it's kind of crazy why they'd have to have a separate organization. I don't know. No, I don't know what this is. Hold on. Yeah, I probably shouldn't show that on here. Oh, this is kind of, let me see, maybe not. So this is another one. This is one that I responded to, Simon Dan. He said, Mark Sargent thinks that the flat earthers are about to take over the world. Sure they are, Mark. Sure they are. It's Flat Earth Friday again. Enjoy. But I said, the numbers are growing by the day, and you glurfs are responsible for a great deal of them. Thanks. And I mean,
I tell them that they're responsible for statistically for 33% of the flat earthers. Because I love, that 33% is a great number. They like that number anyway.
30, man, during that crap, the last one, they're getting ready to run it again. They're not even changing the script, But during that last one, you could put in, like in a Google search, you could just put in 33 new cases, right? And you would see hundreds of articles come up from all over the place. 33 new cases, 33 deaths, 33 this. It was 33 all over the fucking place, man. All over the place with that shit. It's like, what is it with that number, right? It's so obvious anymore. Prince Hall, thank you. Yes, that's it. That's the one.
That's funny.
Prince Hall. Those are the Black Masons. Now, although blacks can join the Masons, whites can't join the Prince Hall.
Oh, so, Humboldt County. Yeah, 33 new cases and another death.
Yep. Every time.
Yeah. I am freaking poor, damn healthy as a horse, 99-year-old freaking men with cancer and diabetes. They're just dropping like flies during this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And all these healthy people taking these doggone tests that are, 80% false positives, and it tests for multiple, tests for the cold.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Kevin Barber says, he said that blacks aren't or weren't allowed in regular Blue Lodge. They were made Prince Hall Masons. I think they've changed that, though. I mean, they'd have to, right? You can't have a club and say, yeah, no blacks or Jews, It's like we're not going to allow that,
Yeah, I think they changed that around the same time the Mormons started allowing them.
Well, although it should be, I don't agree with it necessarily, but I mean, I think that it would be the right of a private establishment to set whatever rules that they want to with that. I mean, let's face it, we have restaurants that won't allow you to dine if you don't have a jacket and tie, right? You have to have a certain dress code or whatever to enter, and that's discriminatory in a way, right? So, I mean, if you want to cut your own throat and say, we're going to cut out a certain segment of the population for whatever reason, you're just cutting your own throat, in a lot of instances like that. So, I mean, if you wanted to have a restaurant that says no blacks allowed, okay, as that being a private business, it should be your right to have that. However, it's not a popular way to be. A lot of people are probably not going to frequent your restaurant, and you've just automatically cut out at least 17% of your possible customer target. So, cut your own throat at your own risk is the way I look at it, So I don't think the government should have any business in regulating a private industry whatsoever. Not to do that. That's not their job. But they made it their job. Or rather, we clamoring and crying to mommy and daddy government to solve a problem, let them become involved, and now here we are with this problem.
Oh, yes, help solve the problem that you caused. Thank you.
Yeah. It's like they break your leg and then sell you a pair of crutches.
They charge you taxes to hire somebody to come break your legs. Then they charge you taxes to get health care so you can get your leg fixed.
Let me see here. What do we got?
Hey, all the. Hey.
Yeah.
Can you hear me or not?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, go ahead, Dr. A.
Hey.
I hear you.
Yeah, they love their 33, but I think they're mispronouncing it. I reckon it's just showing us what they do with their dirty P. Dirty P.
Dirty P, 33.
P. Do you know what they do with their dirty P?
No, what do they do?
I'll tell you a story, right? Have you got Scottish inheritance or not?
Yeah, I do. Actually, Manx.
Right.
My great great grandfather was a Muirhead. He came from the Isle of Man. So I don't know if that counts. They said he was a Scotsman originally, and he was a lowlander, but they said he had fire engine red hair. He was a great big guy.
Yeah. I know one of them, a friend of mine. He's 23 now, and he's taller than me, and I'm 6'3", but he's broader than me, and he's got bright red hair.
Yeah, see.
Hey, but I'll tell you something, Dave. I'll tell you a little story if you got time. Listen, it's a story, okay?
Okay.
Because I endeavour to tell the truth to the best of my knowledge whenever I possibly can. And sometimes somebody will ask me, did so-and-so tell you so-and-so? And I've learned now to always put a caveat on what I tell somebody to the best of my knowledge. To the best of my knowledge. Anyway, this story. Back in the days when they started getting reliable shipping transport between Scotland and Ireland and Europe and across to America, right? Once they got regular shipping going to America, do you know what the biggest monetary export from Scotland was? The biggest income for the whole country. And it was all shipped to America. And the things they made out of it, you wouldn't believe the things they made out of it. These things called tracer bullets, where you can use a machine gun and every 10th bullet is a tracer.
Right.
Do you understand me or not, Dave?
Right. What was it that they were using?
It was all imported. It was the biggest export commodity out of Scotland.
But
and there were special buildings. There were special buildings. Oh, do you want let me finish, or you want to ask another question?
Well, I was just wondering, what was the commodity?
Yeah, I was going to save that for the punchline, Dave.
Oh, okay, all right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll let you step in early. 33.
Dirty P. Now I know that they used urine for leather tanning.
It was the biggest export out of Scotland. They had special hotels, pubs built so that the bloke could just walk down there and different people could pee into different channels depending on their height. And if it was a urinal that was a foot off the floor, that was the most valuable dirty pee in the world. Even today, that's selling for $400 a litre.
We had somebody, Flat Earth is Real Fake News, said that gravity is proportional to mass. Density is not a force. Nobody claimed density to be a force. And can you prove this gravity is proportional to mass at all? Where's your gravity if I increase the mass of a helium balloon, for instance? Where does gravity go then? Right? So if I let go of Nick Bolt's orange and I'm standing underwater, what happens to the orange now? It drops upward. Where's the mass that's up top above the water that's drawing the orange to it? See, that's stupid. Your 9.8 meters per second squared is nothing more than an observation that you've taken within this medium. Okay. The bottom line is the density itself is not a force. Okay. I'll put it this way. If you had a bathtub and it was filled up to the rim with water, when you step into it, water is forced out of the tub. Am I correct? Yes. And the displacement forces the water out of the tub. Okay, nobody physically, well, you kind of physically moved it by displacing it. So that displacement was the force. You understand? That displacement took place because of relative density. So there you go, man. Displacement is your force. That's right. No longer on the ball. Absolutely. It's easy. It's easy to understand. I don't know how people don't understand this. I guess maybe I get more of a sense of it because I've spent a lot of time in water. You know, like I said, I grew up on a lake and shit, we couldn't wait to get in the water, you know, and if it was still too cold to swim, we were in boats. We were still down there at the water, at least wading around, fishing, doing all kinds of stuff. And really just those experiences give you a lot of knowledge. You know, you understand principles of refraction through water. You understand principles of buoyancy and density. You may not be able to express it in some kind of a mathematical equation, but you absolutely understand it. It becomes apparent to you. So I've always equated and this is what I tell people to do, equate the air, just pretend it's really thin water, because that's basically what it is. It's just another type of fluid, a very thin fluid we call a gas. And who was it? Our friend Nick, no, that wasn't Nick. That was Sean that tried to tell us that Atmos was not a gas, but he said it's the air. And so I said, well, what is the air comprised of? And he said, it's comprised of gases. Well, what the fuck, man? Dude, come on. What are you even arguing with me for? You know? I don't get it. Don't get these people sometimes. Anyway, this is
it's that horror of a favored position that they're all worried about.
Yes. Well, it's also that the idea that if you don't have your assumptions of gravity, then you don't have your balls in space. I don't even know how they could begin to think that some kind of a gravitational pull of hydrogen gas particles would ever happen at all. I don't know where they would get this fucking idea. There's never ever in any observations of a gas collecting together without some form of containment or something. It just doesn't attract to itself. It wants to spread out and fill the empty space, man.
Mm-hmm.
Not like spaceman, but you know, space.
Can I step in or not?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I keep thinking about what you said, especially about containment. Okay, so just bear with me a minute. My understanding of containment is perfectly. It's the main. It is the God. Okay, it's sort of like, I don't know. It's hard to say, but you look at the as above, so below, right? In other words, at the cellular level, you guys have probably seen it on. They show you it on the TV quite often. Like they get a cell which looks like a ball, looks like a ball, and then they get this needle and they're going to inject a different thing into the cell, right? You seen those microscopic little videos? They've put them up all the time. That needle is the sharpest.
Yeah, I was going to say they show that needle going into the membrane of a cell. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, and that is the sharpest needle that can be produced by man, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The sharpest instrument that can be produced by man, and it has to deform that cellular wall until it's nearly at the center, at the center of the cell, because at the center of the cell is the God particle.
The nuclei.
Everything is in a container. That's God's design.
Your whole body is a container full of containers.
As above.
Yeah, it's a
As
container
above, so
full
below.
of you've got your lungs are containers, your circulatory system's a container, your skin's a container, your cells are a whole bunch of little containers. I mean, this whole thing is nothing but containers within containers within containers. And like you say, as above, so below.
Right on.
So we have to recognize that. This other shit, and there again, it's against all logic and possibility is what they purport to be true. You see, this idea of space and everything is a violation of nature. Everything is a complete violation of nature that they preach, and it's the opposite of what it is in reality. Everything.
Yeah, Dave. I am so critical of myself looking back, because I can look back 50 years and I could see what they were doing. I could look back 40 years and see what they were doing. I've watched them destroying the productivity and the life and the family and they've destroyed everything on the surface of this planet, so-called planet. And I did nothing. I've watched it happen. And I mean, I should have, if I could go back and do it again, boy, would I give them shit. They wouldn't be here. There wouldn't be a bloody parasite on Earth. These parasites can only survive because they use our blood. And yeah, and they bought and paid for all the piss in Scotland every year.
The way them guys drink, I would imagine that's a lot of piss. I understand that there's quite a bit of a love for the alcohol amongst the Scotch as well as the Irish. I don't know, maybe that's just a stereotype, but I don't know. What's your experience with that? Oh, this was pretty good. Let me show you something.
Experiment is
this was Mike Oxbig on Twitter. You know who he is, right? No longer on the ball. Mike Oxbig.
I don't know. Oh yeah, robot polisher. Yeah.
This guy's got some good. He goes, so let me pull this tweet up. He said, in case anyone missed the recent debate that caused this fight the flat earth dude's very public mental breakdown to begin, here's a little highlight reel of Caleb just absolutely humiliating him. He's laughing, totally not.
Oh my God,
crying.
I can see it, the turd emoji.
I know, look at it. It's like a little shit emoji on there, isn't it? Hold on, wait a second. We got a thing for that. Look. Here's my Craig mask. Oh, no. Felicia, fight the effect. Yeah, same hair, look.
We got to put some makeup on your turd, though.
I mean, that's exact right there. It's exactly him.
And some glasses and some makeup and lipstick on your turd emoji, and it would be him.
Oh, my God. Somebody's going to have to make that. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make that.
Oh yeah, maybe I could. I'll send you one.
This is pretty good. We can watch a little bit of this because it was he went through that entire thing. That's about a 2.5 hour video, and he just highlighted these different parts of it. I thought it was great, man. I enjoyed that debate. I watched it twice.
Observation is step 1 of the scientific method. Okay. Experiment is step 4 of the scientific method. Gravity isn't a theory. There is the theory of gravity, which is but gravity isn't the theory. The science can easily demonstrate that the Earth is a globe and that it rotates. All the evidence of
looking at the stars and the movements,
all the evidence of
using radar to measure the distance to the sun,
all the evidence
everything that we can see and for our science.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
Now, during that debate, I got to say that was one thing that I really watched was I was watching body language because I don't know, it's just something I do. And you can really tell a lot. This guy was nervous as a whore in church. The way he kept fidgeting, the nervous laughter. You'll see.
What is energy? What is energy, Greg?
Work done. Well, mathematically, what do you want it to mean? What do you mean no one can define what energy is?
See how you're not able to define it? What is energy?
And energy is the amount of work done. Which kind of, it depends on the context that you want energy described.
What is the difference between an observation and an experiment?
An experiment can, an observation could be an experiment.
Craig, do you think math is descriptive or explanatory?
Well, before we get there, we'll talk about what you just said.
Have we measured the one-way speed of light?
Well, no, we can measure the return speed of light. It's fine. That's absolutely
Yes. So,
valid.
but does the positive claim or the negative claim have the burden of proof, Craig?
In what context?
This is basic logic. You don't know? You don't know the answer?
It really does depend on the context. It's not always.
No, it doesn't. Is gravity a physical thing?
Gravity is something that can be measured.
Okay, I'll ask again. I don't know how you didn't answer. Is gravity a physical thing? Yes or no, Craig?
Gravity creates a physical force.
No, the Earth's surface. Wait, hold on. You think the Earth's surface is neutral, or is it negative to 500,000 coulombs? Yes or no?
That wasn't my question. You can't answer my question with a question. You do know that grounding is neutral,
right?
Is the Earth's surface negative or positive, Craig? Answer the question.
You haven't answered any of mine, Caleb.
Negative or positively charged?
What's that got to do with grounding?
Holy shit. If you can't understand. Is the horizon apparent or is it geometric, Greg?
That's a question that's poorly formed. The horizon is a physical thing.
Would you admit that every single observation from the Earth, looking at the cosmic microwave background or the sky, suggests that we are at the center of all creation?
What's that got to do with the shape of the Earth?
What's the definition of geometric?
Why'd you just keep going off on these random tangents?
Yo, Craig, this is crazy because McToon can answer this question, but this is a complete death blow. Hey, I'm talking. Hey, buddy, I'm talking. Hey, just calm down, little buddy. Okay, I will ask again, Craig, and we'll see everyone. Everyone will watch you squirm. Is the horizon a geometric? Let me just define it for you. A physical location, or is it an apparent location that fluctuates based on temperature differentials and atmospheric conditions? Pick one of the two, Craig, or let's see you squirm.
You finished ranting?
He's done. You asked your question. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the horizon is a physical thing.
So you're conceding that it's apparent, correct?
No, the horizon isn't apparent. The horizon is a thing. What we see is the light from the horizon traveling through changes its path.
I can't, dude. The amount of wizardry that you do to not answer questions is exactly. Hey, I'm talking, buddy. Hey, I'm talking. No need to rage and cry.
And that is true, man. They all do that. The amount of wizardry that they try to do to not answer the question. That's what Nick was doing to me the other night. because I knew what he was doing. He was trying to run that same tired bullshit on me that he could hold up an object and eclipse the moon, and then he could do a calculation based on the distance of what he's holding to his eye and figure the distance to the moon. And I said, well, if then that's true, then that would mean that the sun and the moon would give you the same answers how far they are away. So which is it? Does your method actually work, or is the moon and the sun actually the same distance away? And the other night he kept trying to blow past that when I said, well, what object are you using, and how do you know when it's far enough away from your eye? And he really didn't want to go into that because he knew I was going to tear his ass up with it. But I don't even know why he bothered coming on a second time and try to run that same tired fucking idea. I really don't. But whatever. I don't even think, not that it really matters, but I think his claims of being a professor in physics are exaggerated. I don't really think he is.
I'm talking. Let me get my point out. Let's make it simple. Is the Earth spin on its axial rotation? Is the axial rotation of the Earth inertial at all latitude and longitude lines?
Is the Earth spin inertial at all? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
You should probably stop typing and listen to the conversation, Craig, so you could focus up.
You're cutting out for me. That's why I'm struggling to hear what you're saying.
It's not an independent reference frame if it's connected to the surface of the Earth, right?
What's your point here?
You don't understand the point?
What is this supposed to be? Debunking something, or?
The Foucault's pendulum. It doesn't have an independent reference frame.
No, I mean, it's not supposed to. Its behavior illustrates the concept of a non-inertial reference frame in physics.
Is the Earth's axial rotation inertial?
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't it be?
So, if you can't measure an inertial system due to the laws of conservation of momentum, how can you claim that the Foucault's pendulum is measuring the Earth's rotation?
Well, the Earth's rotation is not literally an inertial reference frame, if that's what you mean. So this is what I mean. The way you're asking the questions doesn't make very much sense in the context of the things that you're saying them.
What's the definition of inertial?
The definition of inertial in what context?
Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Are you
can't
joking?
just definition of a word. I mean, inertial can have many meaning. Again, like the way that you're phrasing all these questions is so backwards. It's very hard to understand what you're on about. Okay,
I'll put it simply. I get. You don't understand. I totally get it. You've been out of school for a couple of years. Let me explain it to you. I'm talking right now, Greg. Do we need to split it up into time intervals again, buddy?
We'll try to ask the question.
Not what you're saying, because you're not using like proper terms and context. You're just asking random questions that don't really have, proper answers in the context.
Now, I fully believe that he was using a chat or talking to somebody else, and I noticed that him and McToon both wear these headsets all the time, and I think they got somebody talking to them either on the computer or in their ear or both. I really do.
Yeah.
I'll ask.
What? Go ahead.
Yeah, he said he was on Discord.
Yeah, what are you doing, man? That's kind of disingenuous.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be the one knows all this shit, and you're going in there asking and having a team debate. I mean, come on, man.
I made a FTFE Pumoji too while we're.
Oh no!
Share that after you've been there.
Yeah. That would be great.
Again, Craig, is the Earth's rotation specific to a coordinate system at each longitude and latitude line inertial relative to the observer at said longitude and latitude line? Is it unchanging or is it changing?
The Earth's rotation is not considered to be an inertial reference frame.
Are you joking?
I don't know what your problem is here.
So you think that
an inertial frame of reference is one in an object either remains at rest or continues to move at a constant velocity, unless acted on by an external force. So the Earth's rotation, because it's rotating, there's vectors accelerating, right?
No, it's inertial in your model. It's 15 degree sidereal rotation, right? That's why the stars move at 15 degrees, east to west, all of them, right?
Can I ask you a question real quick, Craig? Do you have a chat group that you're looking at that are answering
Yeah, what are
questions
you
for
doing?
you? Because that's a little bit
Genuinely.
Someone pinged me on Discord to say that my audio was dodgy on the stream.
Okay.
Lion sack of shit.
Right. And one of those sources, Caleb, was a satire article.
Is gravity a theory, Craig?
No, there is a theory of gravity.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done, dude. How do we have a low pressure system next to a high pressure system, like our atmosphere, adjacent to each other, without a container?
We don't. That's a straw man.
We don't?
No, we don't.
What's happening then?
We have a gradient of pressure. That's it.
Show me a gradient of pressure of a pressurized system of gases and air without a container, Craig. Do you have one example of that?
Well, I've never said there's no container.
So you think there's a container to the Earth's atmosphere?
Well, everything is contained within the universe, and gravity specifically contains the Earth's atmosphere. Luckily for flat earthers, you guys get to pre-dismiss anything from space, which is very handy for you.
Because you can't have a vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr adjacent to a pressurized system. You can scream gradient as much as you want, but again, I'd love to see you show me a pressurized system of a gradient without a container. Do you have one example of that, Craig?
There again, I don't say there isn't a container. Gravity is a container. You keep strawmanning me.
Holy
right?
shit. Prove gravity is a physical container.
Gravity affects all mass.
That didn't answer the question. I'll ask again. Prove gravity is a physical container that contains gases. Go, Craig. That'll be awesome for you to do.
Gravity affects all, and again, science doesn't prove things, but gravity affects all mass.
Do you think that's answering the question which I'm asking you to substantiate? Do you genuinely think you're doing it right now?
Gravity affects all mass. It creates a force that's proportional to the product of two or more masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them.
Okay, nobody cares.
Calculations for mass to show that it is affected by gravity. If gravity affects gas, then that's exactly what happens. You would have to show that something else is creating the pressure gradient because it matches the predictions of gravity. And what you are doing on the fallacy route is using the fallacy of specificity to get a specific thing that is outside of the realms of science.
Okay, so you can't substantiate that gravity is a physical container? Just yes or no?
Yeah, well, I can. Every experiment for gravity, it does what we expect it to do. Just like the Gavin showing that mass attracts mass.
It does what we expect it to do. So just assume that it's a physical container. Incredible, Craig. Honestly.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
Hold on. Calm down, Craig. Before you rage, you're going to get clipped. You're going to get clipped.
There's no such thing as scientific proof. In science, there is no the concept of proof.
I don't believe in that.
So I'm going to put a yeah, I don't either, because things are proved with science. I'm going to put the link to this in here, and that's also on Mike Oxbig's Twitter channel. You can I highly suggest, if you use X or Twitter, subscribe to him. He puts out a lot of really cool shit all day long. We're happening no longer on the ball. He's having internet issues. I see. Okay. So yeah, if you're not subscribed to him and you're on Twitter, I suggest that you do, because he's got some pretty good shit, man.
I think science does prove things.
Yeah,
Science
man.
doesn't care what you believe, but there is no such thing as scientific proof. If you're trying to do in science, then you're not doing science, you're doing pseudoscience. Fraction can make everything move, so there's no way to test it.
So it would be pseudoscience.
I understand that you've never studied physics. With all due respect, Caleb, I don't know if you've ever performed a scientific experiment. We don't see things.
Rage.
No one's raging at you, interrupting me whilst I'm trying to talk.
Okay, let's go.
Because that's another way flat earthers love to get over evidence.
Just
by
go.
Not letting
Go.
You can name space-time whatever you want. From now on, I'm going to call it Felicia. All right, ground. All right, you're talking.
And this is where he got the name Felicia, the flat earther, was right there.
Talking to someone who's done engineering, because I've got the internet and I can just look it up and show and get that information for you. And physics is about making assumptions, and science is about making assumptions and testing those assumptions through the hypothesis. I know that you don't like this, but that
it's not the scientific method. That's only 2 parts of the scientific method. You need to follow the entire thing, buddy.
Yes.
But
it's not assumed. The speed of light is about 180,000 miles a second.
Have we measured the one-way speed of light?
We've measured the return speed of light. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. You don't think that measuring the one-way speed of light is important to claiming the speed of light, Craig? Seriously?
No, we can see how long it takes to get somewhere and back. There's no reason it would change. You would have to give a reason for the change in speed over distance. But anyway.
Incredible.
No, anyway, you keep saying, I love that flat earthers constantly go, well, it's a fallacy, that's a fallacy, that's a fallacy. Are you aware of the fallacy, Caleb?
Everyone here was divinely created by an engineer to this universe. We are set at the center of all, from monkeys and lizards turning into humans. Everyone needs to realize that we occupy a special position in the universe, and the fact that the Earth is a level topographical plane and we see orbs in the sky rotating around us, we are separate from them, there's no correlation to them, would suggest that we do have a divine creator and that we should not even see atheism as a valid standpoint. Everybody should realize behind the cyclicalness of of the cosmos, of the stars realigning every 365 days, the moon phasing every 28 days, the sun rising for 12 hours and setting for 12 hours, depending on where you live. Obviously, it's different, the amount of daylight and nighttime that you get. But the fact that everything that we see around us is completely cyclical, it suggests that we live in a low entropy universe and directly suggests the existence of a creator.
Science doesn't care about proof. No, science doesn't have proof. There's no such thing. No matter what you say, there is no such thing as scientific proof. These aren't just theories. I don't understand the question. I don't know how you would repeat the Big Bang. I'm not capable of starting new universes.
Correct.
And then we got Jinx. You have more. Giza Santu says, I was globe Earth my whole life until I saw Craig's arguments. Now I'm 100% flat.
Let's go.
Giza.
Yes.
That's brilliant. That's an episode of First Idiots just on its own. Thank you, Caleb.
So that was the highlights of him losing his fucking mind, which I see him do that. They all get really flummoxed. They want to jump to the ad hom, ridicule. They can't help themselves. I'm sure you've never performed an experiment before, blah, 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 blah. Like they're, what makes you special there, turd shit boy? I'm really looking forward to seeing No Longer on the Balls Felicia, the flat earther emoji that he made. I think that'll be kind of cool. I'm kind of looking forward to that. So yeah, I thought I'll be interested in seeing that. Might not have a whole lot left tonight. It's Friday. I'm gonna probably cut off of here in just a few. Spend some time with the good wife. It's the end of her work week, and spend a little time with her. I'll suffer through spending some time with my own wife, right? Isn't that really nice of her to get that detailing for me? Thought this was kind of weird, this thing about the Disney. Well, hell, it's only 40 seconds. I'll let you all watch it. Shit.
I just caught the Disney company deleting verses from the Christian Bible. It's Matthew 17:21. Look, these demons are beat by prayer and fasting. But then this Bible, look, it goes from 20 to 22. It skips 21. They removed it. What Bible is this? This is this red Bible, and this is this older black one. The Revised Standard Version. Who makes that? So the NIV also deletes it. Who owns them? Biblica. Who owns them? Hodder. Who owns Hodder? Could it be Walt Disney? Holy balls. I just caught the Disney company deleting verses from
that fucking detestable little rodent, Mickey Mouse. I'll be a goddamn. Right? Here's this kind of wacko shit real quick.
To another.
This is kind of weird. This is something about, talking about using 6G and turning the human race into another species. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think about that.
Asbestites. They're transitioning from one thing to another. We're transhumanizing.
They're transitioning the human race to another species. Okay, and it won't be long. It'll be in the 2020s, Doc. If you survive to 2030 without any of these genetic therapies injected into you, these biological operating systems, if you can survive to the 2030s and not become a human antenna, it's not just going to be one thing. It's going to be multiple things that they're going to try to get into our bodies.
Right.
If you can survive to the 2030s as a pure human being, you're going to be in a small minority of resistors. Of course, they'll call you terrorists, insurrectionists, enemies, infidels, but you will be the remaining purebloods. Be the remaining human purebloods on the planet. Satan is eliminating God's creation. That's why the time until Jesus Christ comes back, I believe, is very short. Nothing like this has ever happened, Doc. Nothing. It's never happened like this on this scale. We don't know what kind of technology that they had before the Great Flood, but the Bible says that Noah was pure in his generation.
Yes.
Does that mean he and his family were the last purebloods left on the planet?
Yeah, that's what the Bible says. So,
but the Nephilim were here, and the Nephilim are still here, and they're busy, and they're directing these scientists and engineers, and they are now transitioning the human race into another species, which is being merged with technology. Synthetic biology. Study that. Just go online and study synthetic biology. It will shock you to find out what advances in synthetic biology they've already made.
one of the other interesting aspects of this particular article, though, is how 6G is going to operate in a whole new environment. It's not going to be operating like 5G is now, basically radio waves and wires. It's going to operate in light. It's going to be transmitted through light. Lucifer, he's an angel of light. And so, and so we're talking 6G. I just think it's interesting that, even in our own studio here, LED lights, they're pervasive. Every light you own nowadays is an LED light. And I didn't know that it turns on and off a million times a second, but they can now use light to transfer information. And so that's one of the words that we've come across at these tech conferences is the word ubiquitous. In other words, it's everywhere you look. What's more ubiquitous than light?
Satan wants to be able to say he is the light of the world. That's what it comes down to.
Right.
He duplicates through technology everything that God is through his being. And Satan wants to be able to say that Satan, is the light of the world.
Yes.
And that's where he's moving. So we'll watch this advancement in technology. Look, God could set it back. He could mess up their technology, mess up their plans. We don't know. But if we continue on the path that we're on, there's not going to be a lot of pure blood humans left on the planet in the 2030s.
And poor Natasha, she says, did I not have that playing? Was that not on the screen? That was on the screen, right? Please tell me it was. 9.7K likes. Ain't that weird, man? They've been doing that shit. I don't know what's going on. Let me see where I'm at. I'm showing 47. I liked my own video. Now I got 48. That's good. You should have with a little guitar, perhaps, into the mystic. Oh God, I'll have to brush up on that song. That's a good one though. Maybe another night. I'm going to get off here in just a minute. Let me see here. Oops, what am I doing? Wow. All right. So I was. Yeah, I got to get some strings on this thing too. Not in good shape. Let me see.
Best types.
Missing anything here? Yeah, it's got that time. Oh, we did the Freemason thing. Mickelson, Morley, Israel. What is this? Oh, this was kind of weird too. You guys know who Ric Flair is, right? You guys know who Ric Flair is? All right, so it says here, this thing said that Ric Flair told Shannon Sharpe that he was kidnapped by child traffickers at birth and never got the chance to meet his real parents. Ric Flair's adoption was arranged by the Tennessee Children's Home Society as part of Georgia Tann's baby kidnapping operation. Many people don't know because it is hidden from history, but it is a fact that Georgia Tann placed over 5,000 children all over the country, many of them to Jewish families in New York and to stars in California. Birth certificates were rewritten to make the children's background fit the desires of prospective parents. This including taking Christian children and giving them to Jewish-sounding names. Other records were destroyed to cover their tracks of the orphanages and their criminal acts of kidnapping. But anyway, this is Ric Flair.
Ended up being adopted. True that you were stolen.
Yeah.
Child traffickers.
Yeah.
And you ended up being adopted. So how old were you when you found out that this was your adopted parents and not your biological parents?
I think they told me when I was like 5.
Did you ever seek out your?
No.
So you don't. So
No.
you don't know if you have brothers, sisters.
No, I don't. As recent, it's funny that the guy. How many years ago was that, Wendy? This is 6 years ago. Somebody reached out. My brother. My real name was Fred Phillips.
Right.
And my brother reached out to me. I didn't have any interest.
Really?
I want to borrow money.
True that you was stolen.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy, man. I wonder how many other kids are like that have been. Listen, that's why I say that when they try to go through and say, "Oh, we can, do your genealogy," most people can't get back very far. And then it's all murky shit, all murky shit. Supposedly, the Church of the Latter-day Saints, or as they're known as Mormons, have a genealogical record of everyone, even if you're not a Mormon. So I guess access to their database is quite prized. I mean, you can pay and get access to their database, their genealogy database. So here's a satellite disaster we had. Just got a couple other things to go, and then we're going to take off out of here. A little satellite disaster that happened. You've probably seen this before.
Dreams came crashing down in Central Australia today. A giant helium balloon packed with expensive scientific instruments lost its moorings in high winds. As Anna Henderson reports, it cut a swathe through an airfield and sent onlookers running for their lives.
As the giant helium balloon was launched into the air, its precious cargo became a high-speed projectile. Unexpected strong winds pushed the 2-ton platform of scientific instruments off course and onto a path of destruction.
Jesus.
Justin Trotter's car was tipped over. He can be seen here running for his life.
They started losing control of the payload. We started to move the cars and just barely made it out without getting smashed.
The couple sitting inside their vehicle right next to his car can barely believe they survived.
There was just lots of noise and we really thought we were gone.
It was just an instance of chaos outside. We were expecting to be wiped out.
Well, my uncle works on satellites. Yep, well, there's where they go. I love that when people do. This is kind of creepy because I don't know. Y'all remember Shirley Temple, right? Watch this. Watch this old man.
Come over here. You like these pictures? Come over here. You like these pictures?
You know something?
What?
I didn't think I was going to like you at first,
Huh?
but I like you now.
What the fuck was that guy doing, man? Right? Wow. So much wrong with this world. So much. But I think we've pretty much gone through precision aerodynamic. But that's basically why I wanted to come on tonight, was at first is to show that stupid 360. And it just made me laugh so bad. That because they said, oh, this is going to destroy flat Earth. And I was like, wow, really? Thanks for helping to wake some more people up with that ridiculous fucking thing. Come on, man. You got to be kidding me. So let's see. We went over that. All right. One more little thing. It's kind of comedic. I thought it was funny. Let me put this up real quick. I thought that was kind of funny, man. Oh, I didn't play it. Wait, my bad. It could be a little bit dangerous. I don't know. But it's good to see everybody in here. Boston Ray Mud Flood Adventures. Somehow I had gotten unsubscribed from your channel and I just went and resubscribed to it. We got to watch that, everybody, as you're watching this now. I want you to, make sure that you're subscribed. YouTube has a way of taking our subscribers away from us. And making us have to wonder where the hell all of our people went to. Let's see. I have this one little thing I'm going to leave everybody with before I go. And I think it'd be cool to watch this one more time, and then I'm going to sign off after the video plays. It's a couple of minutes long, so just because I say goodbye, don't stop watching, because you're going to like this. This is a thing I played the other night, If I Were the Devil, and I think it's pretty good. It's not the Paul Harvey one, so you can, I know everybody's heard that one. I don't know, maybe everybody hasn't, and maybe everybody should, because that one was pretty well on point too. Dr. Ake, I want to thank him for coming up this evening. It's been great little show. Wasn't sure what we were going to do, and then they popped it right into my lap for us and said, hey man, why don't you go ahead and do a show tonight, Dave? Why don't you, Sav, we're going to put this in your lap. Here's some ridiculous shit. So we found it and we put it out. So let's see. I think it's honest to say things such as density is a force, but nobody said density was a force. Where are you getting this? I think it's dishonest to state that there's some kind of a magical force that you can't isolate or quantify with any tangible proof whatsoever, and then ascribe that to other things that you have no control over or manipulation. You just assume that that's happening somewhere else as well. It's fucking stupid, man. It really is. 99% of people. No, I'm saying right now, density is not a force. Okay. It contributes to a force. But that's the problem with you Globers, man. You're always looking for one single cause, not taking into account of a number of factors at play. And that's the problem with you. You have binary thinking. This is why you believe scientifically impossible shit like the globe, right? All right. So if I don't see you again over the weekend, guys and gals and in between, I don't know. If I don't see you over the weekend, I will definitely see you Monday night at our normal bat time on the same bat channel at 9:35 Eastern. I may do something this weekend, so make sure you've got that bell notification punched in there and you're subscribed, like, and share. And I'm going to end up just leaving you with this little video. And as we always say, Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey, and see your doctor and fire him because he'll probably kill you. So I'm going to show you if I were the devil. So don't sign out. Stay tuned. And we'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul, Unchained Mind. Good night.
If I was the devil, my first victim will be the kids. From the moment they left their mother's precious wombs and were born, I would condition them to see racial division as a norm. And I wouldn't stop till I stripped their innocence, divide and conquer. It's the oldest trick in the book of Genesis. And see, as they grew up, I would continue my infiltration. For 12 years, I would steal their hearts and minds from them and call it education. If I was the devil, my next victim will be women. I'd make old, out-of-touch men control women's bodies and rights. What better way to curse God than to disrespect the very bringers of life? Speaking of God, if I was the devil when it comes to religion, I put my plan together perfectly. I'd allow you to worship Jesus every Sunday. On the other 6 days, I'd make you worship me. Morals little by little, exactly how cancer spreads. Speaking of cancer, if I was the devil, I'd feed you tasty food.
Sorry about that, guys.
Then I'd
Hang
turn
on.
the doctors into drug dealers, selling you pills that keep you
I'll back it up.
instead of truly healed. Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. We're going to start it over. We'll start it over. I didn't realize if I muted my mic that would mute that too. So you guys hear it now? Okay, good. Starting it over.
If I was
Fuck
the
it.
devil, my first victim will be the kids. From the moment they left their mother's precious wombs and were born, I would condition them to see racial division as a norm. And I wouldn't stop till I've stripped their innocence, divide and conquer. It's the oldest trick in the book of Genesis. And see, as they grew up, I would continue my infiltration. For 12 years, I would steal their hearts and minds from them and call it education. If I was the devil, my next victim will be women. I'd make old, out-of-touch men control women's bodies and rights. What better way to curse God than to disrespect the very bringers of life? Speaking of God, if I was the devil when it comes to religion, I put my plan together perfectly. I'd allow you to worship Jesus every Sunday. On the other 6 days, I'd make you worship me. In the form of money, fame, lust, and greed, to my religion, I wouldn't need to convert you. I turn the 10 commandments to the 10 suggestions. They make virtue signaling more important than virtue. I give you just enough religion to hate each other, but not enough to love each other. And for my final evil strategy, I make you forget the whole purpose of religion was spirituality. If I was the devil, I wouldn't come dressed in a red cape and pointy horns. I drive a Lambo, have a pretty face, and a Gucci belt on. Basically, I take the form of everything you ever wished for and watch you create your own hell. I don't need to torch the earth. And as far as politicians go, I change nothing. They're already doing my dirty work. If I was the devil low-key, I'd be behind the scenes. You wouldn't have to see me. I would normalize dysfunction and call it reality TV. And in this reality, I would attack your self-worth, making it hard to heal from. I'd show you images of fake bodies and make them more attractive than real ones. If I was the devil, I'd make you pray to technology and idolize those who created. I'd make clout the #1 drug and steal millions of lost souls as they chased it. Now, if I was the devil, I wouldn't do it all at once. I'd take my time instead. I'd eat away at your morals little by little, exactly how cancer spreads. Speaking of cancer, if I was the devil, I'd feed you tasty food that makes you ill. Then I'd turn your doctors into drug dealers, selling you pills that keep you coming back instead of truly healed. Yeah, if I was Lucifer, then I'd know life and death are in the tongue. So I make your knife and fork your executioner. So you can't achieve higher consciousness if your body is sick. You won't opt for positive information if you have inflammation. If I was Satan, my cleverness would be admired. Why do you think the word inflammation literally means to set on fire? If I was the devil, I'd show you how to really flex. I would release pandemics on the world to give people the chance to really care for each other and then sit back and laugh as they exploited and became scared of each other. Basically, if I was the devil, I'd keep doing what I'm doing. God is my witness. I already control your systems. Don't try to fight against this. Because for my last trick, I would make smart people like you doubt whether I ever existed.